Hello guys, it's Nicholas Morales, founder of the EHG community, and today I'm going to be talking about things that are very important, especially, in different people's lives, especially with something called judgment. So, there has been a time in your life where, especially in anybody's life, where you have been judged or where you have judged someone based on someone's actions, based on someone's looks, or the things that they do. And with that, I want to go ahead and teach a little bit of a lesson here that maybe you know it can help people learn within the future, because me hearing all these types of things or doing all these types of things or these lessons or learning all these types of verses help me from being so judgmental of other people in my life, especially. Now, as I said, I'm a Christian. I go through things through the Bible, but through certain verses that I give, sometimes give a moral standing or a moral, I would say a moral foundation for certain areas. But let me give a couple of verses here that you would understand. Possibly, I hope everybody understands. In Romans 2:1, it says, "You therefore have no excuse, you who pass judgment on someone, for at whatever point you judge another, you are condemning yourself, because you who pass judgment do the same things." Now, what I usually get from it is that, people are not perfect. People do things, similar that are similar under the sun, things like get mad at others or tend to judge others based on how they look or what they do. And with things like that, it's very messed up to judge someone where like things like don't judge a book by its cover, because of the fact that the story inside the book can be similar to your own. I used to be judged based on the way I look, some of the things I do, like playing video games, artwork, or sometimes I would judge someone based on some of the actions they do against me. And at one point I would be guilty of that, and at one point where I just realized I'm hypocritical for saying stuff or for judging people and stuff like that. So at one point, it's kind of difficult to be able to judge someone, especially, when you are guilty of some of the things that, they have committed as well. Now, in Matthew 7:1, it says, "Do not judge, or you too will be judged." Now, I believe in certain ways or in certain situations that you're going to have to be responsible for what you do. Like, if you judge someone and somebody calls you on it, you better be responsible for it. Or if somebody makes a certain action or does something behind your back or does something that is very questionable or very, very wrong, then they're going to have to answer for it as well. But it's not our place to say, oh, this person needs to own up, this person needs to go ahead and take responsibility for themselves, because at one point we would have to do the same for the actions that we commit for ourselves. So that's a major thing that I want people to understand. In Romans 14:13, it says, "Therefore let us stop passing judgment on one another. Instead, make up your mind not to put any stumbling block or obstacle in the way of a brother or sister." Every person has a path in life, whether it's a path with Jesus Christ and God, or just have like a path of like trying to set up their own life. There is going to be a path that is set with roadblocks or obstacles, where sometimes even people put for themselves. People have even gone to a point where they cause those issues, those sense of judgment, and those ideas of negativity for themselves. Now, they will have to go ahead and learn from those lessons or take responsibility for that. We can't just constantly, judge them based on what they do, because they're going to have to answer for it. So let them answer for it and let them take the responsibility. it's best if someone takes a responsibility than to act like it never happened, or they never said anything wrong, or they never did anything wrong. Let them take the responsibility, let them take the backlash of it. Let's not go ahead and judge someone based on that. Now, in another verse, and this is the last verse, it will be Matthew 7:3. It says, "Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye?" I think in certain instances, some people worry about what other people think or what other people do against others, but do not think about some of the things that we do against other people, whether it's positive or whether it's negative. Now, my thing about that is that with things like that, whether it's positive or negative, there's going to be a cause and effect, and that effect, especially with stuff like that, with judging someone, can have a negative effect or can have a positive effect for some people. So with that, with me, I would say that it would have a positive effect on me, because if someone judged me based on what I like, it would just make me want to continue doing it in spite of them, because of the fact that it's something that they took their time to literally care about. And the thing is, I like doing it the most. So what I'm trying to say literally out of that is that, why do you have time to judge people on what they do, what they like, or what they want to do, or even judge them on anything bad that what they do, where you don't want to be judged in that same manner? Nobody has the right to judge anyone based on how they look or what they do or how they get things correctly, or how they do things in a certain way, because of the fact that we wouldn't want to be judged in that manner. So we would be condemning ourselves to be judged if we do the judging. Now, my thing about it is that also I could tend to be a little bit of a hypocrite during this, because I am still on the sense of trying to learn from judgment and try to learn not to do it, because I tend to do it to try to protect myself and to try to figure out how people work. But at one point, that is not right for me to do. Whether some people are a certain way or whether some people do a certain thing, that's who they are. That's what they want to do. And I'm not perfect enough, or I'm not even perfect at all to judge them and tell them what to do with their lives or how to run it. I could give advice, I could go ahead and do that, but I can't tell them or judge them based on it. So with stuff like that, but let's say if you think of it in a biblical sense, like for instance, like I have a sailor's mouth. There is a sin of not cursing. And I am being told, oh, you know what, you're a sinner because you curse and everything. You're a sinner because you say the F word constantly. Nobody would have the right to judge me on that. There was a story where they were going to, I believe they were going to stone the lady for her sins. Then Jesus came out and wrote down the names of all the sinners, and it was all the people that were gonna throw the stone at her. And it was said that if you are without sin, you shall cast the first stone. And nobody cast a stone on that. So hence why, nobody had literally, gone to a point and threw that rock and threw that stone at that lady who committed adultery, I believe. And even if through that sense, let's just do it in another area so some people can understand. Let's say if someone did something wrong, said a bad joke, and in an area where it kind of insults someone, he apologizes, but then someone literally says, "Oh, you're a piece of crap. You don't go ahead and say something like that. You're wrong. You're a bad person. It would be wrong to actually do that because nobody is perfect and nobody has never done anything bad or anything of a bad or made a bad decision or have done anything by mistake. People just have no right to actually judge others on that. So that's just my thing about it. As much as I really wish that I could make more of a difference through this, in this world, you're gonna always be judged by someone. What I could literally say, if someone judges you, the best thing to do is either ignore it or even just take it to a point where you would where you take it as a sense of trying to get better. Like for instance, if someone tells me, "Oh, you know what? I'm judging you based on the way you look. Like you have ugly hair, you have a fat face." Take that as the opposite. Start to learn and love yourself. Or if you're like, or someone says, "Oh, you like artwork, you're a nerd," or "You're like anime, you're a nerd," then there's nothing wrong with that. Like if somebody says you're a nerd or someone says like that, you say thank you, because you know what, they took their time out of their schedule to worry about you and to say something about you. So that shows your importance. So I would take it as a positive note and for a way to make you feel better about yourself by doing stuff like that. But I really hope you guys understand my words through this. I try to put it in the best way possible. As I said, I'm not the most perfect to do stuff like that, but I really hope that this helped people, understand a little bit more. But definitely subscribe to the EHG community. Turn your notifications when we get new streams and new videos set out. Definitely join us on our Facebook group or Discord channel, and make sure to subscribe to our moderators in the description. These videos will constantly be coming, and they'll be of different topics. As I said, it's like typical advice that I deal with and that I try to, use on a day-to-day basis. I hope it does make a big difference in certain people's lives. I really hope that it makes a big difference in your life. I really hope that it changes things for the better. But this is the founder of the EHG community, Nicholas Morales, and thank you for tuning in. And if you have not, please go through the channel and take a look at the videos based on guilt and depression, and share them and share this video with your friends who are dealing with these certain situations, and let's see if we could try and make a big difference in their life. Thank you very much for your time.